Definitely. All right, so sequence four. This is swimming from Destroyer.
Yeah, yeah. This
Anything
one was,
about this one?
yeah, we were like, I think after 3 days of just like smoking and sitting at the desk for 12 to 14 hours a day, we were tired and feeling a little like, a little crisp around the edges, like running out of ideas kind of thing. It's like, how can we make this one good? How can we make it different from the original? Um, this one was already pretty fleshed out when I got to Chicago with it. It was just like it already kind of had a lot of the bones that it needed in order to, be like a good song. I'd say this one was probably the furthest along even. But it just felt a little bland in my opinion. Um, and um, my kind the feeling I was trying to capture with this one was sort of like if you were a whale or like a fish or something, and you're just like I think originally it was like you're an orca, you are an orca and you're just ripping through the water at like Mach 3 and you can see all the fish around you. You can see the bottom of the ocean, you know, and you're just being an orca, and then like you come up for during those choruses, you come up for air and you see kind of like you see the sun. You're blowing shit out of your blowhole, I guess, or whatever. It's very just kind of the difference between the different ecosystems. Um, it's not that deep, but that was just kind of like my initial like, oh, maybe I'm a whale, maybe I'm just ripping through the water. Um, and so I know when we got to this one again, we were pretty burned, but like we wanted to make it a little more textural and give it a little more um just give it more something. I don't think either of us really knew what we were looking for, but we decided to go outside that day. We hadn't been outside in 3 days. We went outside and we went over to the lake and we found some rocks that were kind of smooth and good size. We just kind of clinked them together. It's different and into our phones. Like we just used our phones to get these samples. We got some of the water, like the waves hitting the shore. Um, and then we also like we took the train down to the loop to get uh some lunch or something, and we recorded train sounds and just like kind of anything that was kind of interesting, just like outside. We just recorded as much of it as we could. And then when we got back, we just dumped it all into the Ableton session and um just kind of like started making beats out of the sounds that we found.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff in the verses, especially the first and second verse, are like just just garbage that we were recording with our phones. And it's like it's wild that it kind of like came together, because like I didn't really have any vision for how that was going to come together. I think I might have even just like this might have been one of those situations where I was like in and out. I was like, I did the majority of the lifting to like get the demo where it is.
Mhm.
I would be very interested to see what you do like with what we have. Um, so that, and that came together really nicely. The whole back half of the song was something that I made before this project was ever conceived. Um, Again, I was probably just at my desk smoking. Um, I had gotten like a new reverb plugin, and I took the stem, like the whole bounce of the song, like Destroyer, and I just or Swimming rather, and I put it in Ableton. I just put a bunch of reverb on it and slowed it down and just made it sound kind of freaky. And I ended up making a remix of Swimming, completely separate from this one, just a different song that was a remix of Swimming. And I made this whole crazy um, like I really like Clams Casino. Like
Mhm.
his music is like fucking absolutely dope. And I was kind of like I was really into he has like an instrumental album that I was listening to a lot at the time. So I was kind of just trying to make something that sounded like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so that whole ending is just like straight up like let me see if I can do Clams Casino. Um, and then I basically like we didn't do that there. We had a whole ending that we recorded when we were there, and then as I was mixing, I'm like, I don't really like this, so I just chopped it and I pulled the session from my original remix and dropped it into our version, and just kind of like, it's a kind of a weird time shift. Like there's like it speeds up. So I like made the time at the end of ours like gradually, the BPM, I gradually raised it so that it matched the BPM of um my remix. So yeah, this song was kind of like a hodgepodge a little bit, but like I
Yeah.
think it, again, one of my favorites. Like I think I listened to this one probably the most out of all of them.
Okay.
Um and yeah, I think if I show anybody a song on this album, it's probably this
Gonna
one.
be this one. Okay. And people I don't know, Clams Casino, very famous for obviously ASAP Rocky and ASAP Mob's like early production, early days, and like it's kind of like where he started to get his buzz. Very good
Yep.
producer. Let's check this out, sequence 4.
Every morning, every single day, I woke up and threw my dreams away. Every little thing you need to say, I woke up and threw my dreams away. Bitch, you guessed I can see the future, but I'm still depressed. Got no money cause I'm sick in bed. Getting high, sipping Sudafed. What you waiting for? You can run to it, there's a door. Yeah, too tough, not tough enough. So let's try it all over again. All over again. Do you know what you really like? Do you know, do you even know? Is your mind just a hollow shell, waiting for another simple fix? Do you know who you really are? Do you know, do you even care? Can the ocean behind your eyes got you swimming through a vacant stare? Do you know what's real?
Again, another one of those like I didn't quite connect it when I first heard it, but like now that you mentioned like Clan Casino, like absolutely hear like kind of
Yeah.
that influence, and like I'm like, man, that back half was crazy.
I wasn't even trying to hide it, honestly. Um, I think my favorite thing about that sequence is that it's still Mags, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I think the craziest thing about this project is, you know, all of these songs sound nothing like anything that I've done in the
Mm,
past. And, I don't actually know if I'll do another project like this, to be
mm.
honest. Like this may be kind of a one-off thing. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But the fact that this still falls underneath the Mags umbrella, and like this is something that I can like with confidence say that like yeah, this is a big part of my sound. Like this is like, I obviously have the rock thing and I've got the indie thing, all that. It's like, what people kind of know me for, or like what people expect from me. But to be able to play this and be like
This
this
is Max
this
too.
is still valid, this is still like part of what I like and what is interesting to me. And it's still like an example of like, what my art can be. I just think that's so cool. It's like it's a very cool like um, juxtaposition to have.
I mean, that's my favorite artists. All ones that are not afraid to experiment and like try different things and like really show different sides of them. Like, I think that's dope. Might need
Yeah, I
a
agree.
Mags beat tape here in a minute.
Oh man, I've got something. I have something. I have something that I've been sitting on for years. I think since like probably 2018, 2019. Um, it's just a matter of time. It's all gonna come out eventually.
Because I remember last time we talked, it was like 3 years ago. You mentioned play with Cardi being like a big influence of you at that time, and I don't remember what there was one song in the story where I felt like that kind of came through kind of
It was
heavily.
swimming. It was
All right.
swimming.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
it
like.
was the end of swimming. Yeah,
It's like I
go
definitely
figure.
remember hearing other like moments where there was like coming through, and that I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was swimming.